Across the country and around the world today, tens of thousands of people turned out for what organizers say has been the biggest single day of protest against President Trump and his second-term policies and actions. In this country, more than 1,000 rallies were planned in small towns and major cities from coast to coast. Ali Rogan begins our coverage.
In Washington, crowds descended on the National Mall, calling for lawmakers to rein in President Trump.
He's right now destroying our economy. He's taken away all of our allies. We're a pariah in the world. And Congress sits back and does nothing.
The mass protest, dubbed the Hands-Off National Day of Action, was organized by advocacy groups that oppose the president's policies during his first term. Protesters railed against Mr. Trump's recent moves to lay off scores of federal workers, revoke protections for immigrants, and implement sweeping tariffs. But for Democratic leaders, the president's threat to democracy took center stage.
Our founders wrote a constitution that does not begin with "we the dictators." The preamble says, "We the people."
The movement spread far beyond the nation's capital. From the sidewalks of South Bend to downtown Boston and New York City, demonstrators took to the streets in protests both big and small to oppose President Trump's agenda. That resistance echoed around the globe. In Germany, England, and Portugal, protesters flocked to public squares to show support and solidarity with Americans.
Freedom is at stake in the United States and for the whole world with what Donald Trump is doing. And we need to stand up.
For PBS News Weekend, I'm Ali Rogan.
Not hate makes America great. Love, not hate, makes America great. Love, not hate, makes America great. Love, not hate, makes America great. Hate makes America great. Love, not hate, makes America great. Love.
It's just so encouraging. And what's been a pretty depressing 9 weeks to have, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of Americans show up here and across the country to say we're not going to take this line down. We are fighting back. We're going to resist the evils of Trump and Musk. We're going to take back our country.
One of the largest shows of resistance to what President Trump and Elon Musk are doing right here at the foot of the Washington Monument. This event sponsored by the groups Hands Off and MoveOn.org. Thousands upon thousands of people here at the foot of the Washington Monument. We talked to rally goers about their motivations for coming. Your parents are both federal government employees. What are they going through right now?
Yeah, my dad had to take the fork in the road deal, and so he had to leave the federal government after over 20 years. And my mom works for Health and Human Services right now, and she's worried, about her job security at this point.
What are they going to do from here? It's very uncertain.
That's exactly what it is. It's really uncertain. It's hard to plan when there is seemingly no plan other than to just lay people off. So it is hard for everybody in this predicament to know what's...
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Sibby here, and today we are diving into something a little different, but definitely powerful. If you've been on social media or just even watching the news lately, then you probably heard about the hands-off protest that is sweeping across the country. This movement is bold, loud. It's calling out two of the biggest names in America right now. President Donald Trump and tech billionaire Elon Musk. Yep, back her up. Before we dive into my thoughts and reaction, let's just break this down a bit. The hands-off protest isn't just one-off thing. This is a coordinated series of protests, rallies, and online campaigns that are taking aim at the people, are calling political overreach, power, imbalance, and dangerous influence from some of the most powerful figures in the country. Whether it is Trump influence in politics or Musk creep of media platforms and tech space, people are saying enough is enough. Okay, let's take a look at what's been happening on the ground. Here are some of the footage from the protest in New York, LA. And right outside Twitter headquarters, or say X, because but seriously, the signs, the energy, the unity, people are marching with purpose. And it's not just a few hundred folks, it's thousands. There is a real passion here. Watching all this just gave me chills. Like, regardless of what you fall political, seeing people stand up for what they believe in en masse is powerful. You've got people saying hands off our democracy, hands off free speech, and even hands off our data. The message is clear. People feel like their voices are being drowned out of the power of a few. Let's talk Trump. A lot of this protest is tied to Trump legal battles. This ongoing campaign from 2024 and concerns over how he allegedly still pulling strings behind the scenes. Protesters are calling out what they're seeing as dangerous return to power, and they're not having it. Some signs literally said things like, "No more Trump drama," and "We won't forget January 6th. That says a lot. And we can't ignore that for a lot of people. Trump represents something deeply unsettling. They're scared of what another presidency could look like. And these protests are their way of fighting back, whether it's about productive rights, immigration, or just the tone of political discourse. Folks are saying, hands off our future. Now, Elon Musk, that is a whole different beast. We are talking about a man who went from revolutionary tech leader to world Twitter troll in chief. Since they bought Twitter, or X as he calls it now, people have been very vocal about censorship, algorithm changes, and concerns that the platform is being turned into a mouthpiece of certain ideologies. And that is what the protest is highlighting. Musk once said he bought Twitter to protect free speech, but now people are accusing him of doing the opposite, silencing critics, reinstating banned accounts, and playing favorites with certain voices. The protesters are holding him accountable in public square. Some signs even lead Elon is not God and stop praying with our voices. As a content creator, I feel this deeply. Platforms like X, YouTube, TikTok, they hold so much power over what gets seen and what gets buried. And when someone like Elon Musk owns this place and can just make decisions that affect millions of voices overnight, that is scary. I get why people are worried. It's not about hating Elon. It's about transparency, fairness, and accountability. The same goes for Trump. It's not just politics. It's about what kind of country we want to live in. Now, to be fair, there are people out here saying this protest is just more political theater than Trump is being an unfair target. That Musk is just shaking up the establishment, and some folks don't like that. And hey, everyone entitled to their opinion. That is beauty of democracy, right? But when thousands of people take to the streets in multiple cities with the same message, we've got to listen. Even if you don't agree, you've got to pay attention. With the 2024 election still lingering in the air and 2025 already feeling like a powder key, protests like this are only going to grow louder. Whether it's about tech, billionaire, or political strongmen, people are stepping into the streets to say, we want a voice, we want justice, and we won't be ignored. We're living in a moment where culture, technology, and politics are all colliding, and the hands-off protest is just one example of what is happening when people feel powerless. I want to hear from you all. Seriously, what do you think about the hands-off protest? Do you agree with the message? Do you think the focus of Trump and Musk is fair? Or is this just one noise in a vivid country? Drop your thoughts in the comment and let's talk about it respectfully, of course. Whether you agree with protesters or not, one thing is clear. People are speaking up. And as long as folks are willing to march to raise their voices and to stand together, there's hope. That is something I believe in. Thank you for watching, for being open, and for staying informed. If you found this video insightful, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe, you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a post. Until next time, stay strong, stay kind, and stay curious. Peace.